Patrick Royce, this morning is a time to pay tribute to those who are now gone, but in my opinion, could be executives of the year candidates. Yes. And I'm talking about two in particular in this town, Gerson Rosas and Paul Fenton. Because look at what Paul Fenton did in a brief time period as the GM of the Wild.
He certainly didn't make the greatest trades in the world, but he did get rid of Charlie and Granlund, that stiff, and Niederreiter, the very erratic core that we kept waiting for. And he got Fiala back, who scored some goals. The rest of them didn't amount to much. But his last act, 12th overall pick, Matt Boldy in 2019 draft. Where would this team be without Matt Boldy? They wouldn't have won last night, that's for sure.
Not this good. That's for doggone sure. This kid is great. And if you recall, Pat, we were very upset, including me, I think, because we said, how could you pass on Cole Caulfield, natural goal scorer, little guy, but man, he's got good hands. And Matt Boldy is completely blown away the notion that Cole Caulfield might be better.
The Micheletti occasionally does wild Iowa Wild games down there. He goes down for weekends and sees games. And he was telling me a month ago when he wasn't. When did he get here? About a month ago?
Yeah.
A few days before he called him up, he was telling me how good he was. He said he's really good and should be in the lineup here shortly. And about 2 days later, they called him up. But now Rossi had to go back, right? He was, again, not healthy and then went back and might not have played enough yet to, as far as he missed all last year and the whole thing. But, one more weapon. That's about all they needed. They don't really have to do anything here, do they?
They could get a center if they wanted to, but it is the fun conundrum that Billy Guerin has to figure out if he wants to add someone to that room and possibly change up that chemistry, because it looks like everyone's clicking right now. But I don't know, Pat. I think they should, but I understand if they don't.
Yeah, it is. I go back to it. I've said it 25 times. This coach has turned out to be exactly the opposite of what I figured he'd be at a distance. I figured we'd be all grinding out there. And I guess they should have went back and took a closer look at his record, though. When he was in junior hockey and things like that, he was like this huge goal scorer. So he likes goals. It's nice to have a coach who likes goals, isn't it?
He likes two things, goals and fights. And I'm fine with both those things. That's my type of coach. Much more fun. There, no trapping, Pat. There's no left wing lock. There's no neutral zone trap. There's none of that, and I love that.
Oh man, they're playing a style. This was not the style that Jock raised Wild fans on. That's for sure.
God no.
But it's the modern NHL too. You got this is the way to play. This is fun, and it's pretty incredible that I have got to think that they have come back from more 2-goal deficits this year, even though it's the worst lead in hockey, than in the previous 5. Right? I mean,
it doesn't faze them. It honestly does not faze them one bit.
I was talking to Chorsky the other day, and he said, and Micheletti said this too, that you never doubt that they can. When the third period starts and you're 1 goal down, you're not saying, how are we going to score a goal? How are we possibly going to score a goal? You never have that thought with this collection. So
yes. And so they went down, I think it was about 4:30 into the game last night, 2-rip. Old days, Mike Yeo pulls the goaltender. Everybody hangs their head. He might call timeout. There's panic, and they probably get beat 5-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're down 2-rip. Nobody cared.
Yeah, and they do not falter against bad teams too often. How many losses to the clunkers, to the bottom 5, bottom 6? Not many.
No,
I think Pat, I think only 1 loss in regulation to Eastern Conference teams this year. They're like 14-1-1 against Eastern Conference foes. So if they were in the East, my God, they could be just feasting right now, running away with the 1 seed.
Yeah, and I really do. This looks like a team when it gets into the playoffs, and and those games all become tighter, and you're losing a game, and all of a sudden you're up against it. I don't think they're going to slow down because it's the playoffs. I think they're just going to keep pressing the action and keep making life uncomfortable for the other goalies. So
2 lines too. That helps a ton.
Yeah,
because if Kaprizov gets shut down or slowed down, now it's not a complete death knell. So yeah, if you've got 2 lines, I think you're in decent shape. But this is as good as I've felt about this team in possibly forever.
Ever, yeah, I would.
Yeah,
think.
I've never felt that. I've never felt this way. Like I've liked their talent at times and things like that going back. But I mean, this is a legitimately, I think, a good team. Really good team.
Yeah, well, you've been high on them since the first month of the season. Just I think style of play and the whole approach and things like that. But all hail to Paul Fenton. That's what I say.
That's right.
Paul and Gerson, man.
Gerson,
Look what
yeah.
they did. Gerson got Bev going out the door. He got Bev, and Bev's been fantastic, no question.
How about is this the most wonderful country in the world? The defensive Bev, who, misses a game a week, right? Basically, 13 mil. Come on. Is he worth 13 mil? Is Bev worth 13 mil?
To that locker room, he probably is. I think he is not afraid in a constructive way to kick ass.
Well, yeah, I'm sure
I think that helps.
Way. He seems that way, and he certainly defends and all that. But what a league that is, man. I'm a pretty good player. I'm a defender.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, 13 million. I'll take it. Thanks. I guess that's what happens when you only have, well, now I think they got 15 players on the roster, but you got 6 of them making no money. So.
Right.
So, but yeah, anyway, the winter is, the Wild is, I mean, certainly just you're waiting for the playoffs to start with them, but but things are looking up on the other side of town too, thanks to Gerson.
Yep, and the one thing is, and I don't think it's going to be the Wolves. We need a playoff run because if we don't, we're going to have nothing to watch. So like we need a nice long playoff run into well into May, because if we don't, we are going to be watching. I have no idea what.
You're convinced no baseball till when? June?
At the earliest is my guess. At this rate, I mean this is a complete mess now.
And a lot of people with modern baseball would tell you, even if there's not long playoff runs and there's baseball being played, there's still nothing to watch because
yeah, that's true.
Because they're losing such incredible numbers of viewers, and there's still the BSN feud with the streamers, right? That hasn't been solved. So
that's true. I've heard very few things about that in the last 3 months, but that's right. Yeah, that's not done yet.
No, and I mean, with every Wild game is Wild's on what, the NHL Network, maybe 4 times or something.
Oh, not much, yeah.
So
Valleys, you're right.
I mean, how about the Wild fans? I am not hearing as much from them. Are they all Comcast subscribers or what's going on? They haven't.
They didn't used to be.
I haven't seen as many complaints, but maybe they're going to games. I don't know what the deal is, but. The feud with the Wolves and the Wild having the good winters that they're having, you'd think that there would be even more controversy about not being available to the streamers.
Yeah,
there's get arounds and workarounds and stuff like that. Maybe the younger hockey crowd is smart enough to figure out how to watch that without having
pirating, huh?
Nothing wrong with a little pirating once in a while. I hear it's available, but
I'm too dumb, so I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how, because if I could, I would.
I think I saw that this Gupta actually got quoted a few days ago on something. Yep. That's about boy, is his way to try to keep the job is to stay really undercover, isn't it?
Yeah, he is.
No,
you're right.
5 times. I don't know. From what I've seen, he's been a very low key. Well, he's in a he's in a rough situation here. If Glenn Taylor still on the team,
Yep.
you probably have a good chance to keep the job. But who knows what Lore and A-Rod are up to? What kind of vision they have of, maybe A-Rod has some NBA buddy that used to play in the league that he wants to put in as general manager or something, right? I have no idea what's going on with that. And really, the whole Wolves thing, Judd, is like, okay, what kind of influence do A-Rod and Laurie have? Anything?
At this point, I have no
One owns
clue.
them, and they got to make 2 more $500 million payments.
Yep.
But they're around. I don't know. So what was it yesterday? We got the report that A-Rod's got this ungodly condo downtown, millions of dollars, some condo downtown that looks over Target Center, sort of someplace downtown.
So I'm sure he's delighted by that. This gorgeous building that was redone, and it's
yes.
I'm still waiting for that. That discussion is going to be, I think, among the first that once that last payment is made, right? We got to do something about this building.
Well, yeah. You think they'll do it immediately? Yeah, they probably will.
It'll be pretty quick, I think.
Well, hell, they already hinted at it, right?
Yeah.
When they were first introduced, they hinted at the need for a new building.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the Wild building is 22 years old now. When are we going to get, it's still, I go in there and it's still a fine looking hockey building to me, but I'm sure there's some improvements that must be made, right?
That's probably true. But the thing about that place is it was built at a good time, right? Like it was built so the problem is the Wolves building was built at the absolute where every building I believe that went up at that time is now gone, aside from this one.
Yes.
And Miami, Orlando, Charlotte.
Like the Wild were in on the Camden Yards.
Correct. Right. Exactly.
Movement of arenas.
Yes.
The arenas changed from putting 2/3 of your seats upstairs with the suites in the middle, and making the worse the seats, the more we had.
What?
And those arenas are,
because we can have cheaper tickets and more fans can come. That is one of the stupidest building philosophies I've ever heard.
Well, I know when they built it, the Target Center, they called it the ultimate building. This was it. This was thoroughly modern, and everything was going to be fantastic. And you're right. I got news for them, though. They think they're getting $500 million. They got a $750 million stadium out of the, which would be cheap by today's standards, out of Minneapolis these days. They're in trouble. I don't think Hennepin County is going to do it for them either.
Nope.
They better They better get to a Western Conference final or something before they start putting too much pressure on. Or, they could. There's a lot of people think they're going to go someplace, but they're not going to Seattle or Vegas.
How about the burbs, Pat? How about the suburbs?
Here?
Yeah. How about Woodbury, where you got all of these families?
The trouble with Woodbury is 82% of the people in Woodbury don't know that basketball exists.
Well, you might want to have an arena in their backyard might help.
That is a hockey haven. How about a mammoth arena in Woodbury serving both teams? I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't either, but you never do know.
I like arenas downtown. Our downtowns need something right now.
Oh, God, yeah.
With all the
it's the 70s again.
All the nonsense going on. So yeah,
yes.
we need them downtown. But anywho, that was quite a performance for young Boldy last night.
Oh, it's hell of a game. So should we be getting a little bit sweaty palms that Kevin O'Connell has yet to be named? Like we don't even have, as of this recording at 9:45. We don't even have right now a press release, Pat.
No.
We don't have any confirmation that Kevin O'Connell.
Thursday, I'm hearing that they're going to announce him. So is there a parade Wednesday?
Yes, they're doing the parade on Wednesday.
If you're an offensive coordinator, and I said this yesterday, You don't have to go to some parade, for God's sakes.
I agree
Get
with
your ass to Minnesota and start working.
Yeah, we didn't hire
Or
you.
Come in yesterday. Come in today and go home for the parade. They got planes. They got these jet airplanes. They get, you fly west. You gain a couple hours. It's really easy. And Ziggy will send a plane to get you too, I would think. So what's the wait? He's got to sit out there and relish the championship, which had very little to do with their offense, I might add.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree completely.
Mm-hmm.
Get him here.
Yes. Yeah, what are we waiting?
It's done. The season's done.
Yeah.
Long enough.
Do you think maybe it's the Vikings wanting to get maximum national pub for this or something?
Maybe. But put out the release to assure people that this is a done deal, and then say, "Hey, press conference on Thursday." That's what I love.
I think they'll do that today. I think that will occur today. So
fair enough.
Would be my guess, but I don't know. Who knows what they're up to? The other thing is, maybe Sean McVay told him he's leaving for TV and he's staying there, and we got to go higher. We got to go back to Michigan and ask Harbaugh if he'll come and coach us. What do you think about that?
Oh, Jim might tell you to. It would begin with an F, and have an O there as well.
I didn't realize they were hiring Fenton too as a defensive coach, huh? That's
God,
good.
yeah.
It's quite a contrast to what you expected out of this guy, right? You got two 60-year-olds. I mean, Donatel has been around forever, right?
He's 65. And Fenton is
what, late 50s, maybe?
55.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
But are they going to be or is Donatel the boss?
Ed is the boss. Fenton is going to have a as yet to be decided on title.
Okay. All right.
So, but they're going to, I would almost certainly play 3-4 instead of a 4-3, which doesn't mean
O'Connell have any kind of past relationships with these guys?
Ed Donatel was in San Francisco with Kwesi, and I think O'Connell might have been tied in a little bit. Fenton, I don't think so, but I'm not positive. Mm-hmm. Those guys, Pat, are lifers. Both of them have bounced around.
Wasn't Fenton in Green Bay for a while?
Yes.
And did they get rid of him and bring this other guy in?
I think so, yeah. I think they got rid of him. I think they blamed him for the Tampa Bay loss, which is weird because their defense in that game played fine. And I think they let him go after that. And he was a consultant for the Bears last year, defensive consultant of some sort.
I love the fact that we have prognoses coming out as to what the how the season's going to turn out. The ratings for the season for next year already. We got the list of the ratings. I would think that before you have the ratings, you have to find out where Aaron Rodgers is playing, wouldn't you?
Not to hardcore gamblers, my man. Are you kidding? They need the action.
Yes. But no, I mean, not like ESPN's list of the
rankings and stuff.
The rankings for next season.
No, they don't care. No, Pat, no one cares it now. Nobody cares. They'll just change it day by day.
But if Aaron Rodgers comes back, the Packers won't be as good because their cap situation's terrible. But they're still 11-6, right?
Yeah, probably.
If he doesn't come back, they're 5-12.
Yes, they're in. They might be in last place.
Yes,
without him.
I'd have a hard time thinking anybody can finish behind Dan Campbell, but
that division could be abysmal next season.
Oh yeah, I've been saying that. The old days. I think Bud won it one year at 8-7-1, and that 8-9 might get you a tie next year. It might get you a tiebreaker, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
It is going to be phenomenal, though, when this kid does his press conference. How wonderful he is, and how certain we are we might have hired the greatest coach in history. Viking fans have really turned odd. I miss the fatalist Viking fans from the Super Bowl 70s when we just all expected the worst, right?
Yes.
Now we expect the best. Now we are absolutely. Everything they do is genius. And you suggest that maybe Ziggy didn't want to pay the freight for Harbaugh, and people go crazy. They love Ziggy because he spends money just like 31 other owners do. But
that started with the Moss crowd,
yes,
which now is not young.
No.
So now that's what, guys, approximately
in fact, the Moss
my
crowd
age.
have taught their kids to be that way.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
they
and they're
fuck
positive, and O'Connell's going to be great. He's going to say, Quasi I mean, the collaboration.
We go way back. I met him twice. So.
we go way back, and we will work in lockstep.
Kirk, I had a great relationship with Kirk the year he had a mediocre year in Washington, and we traded him.
Exactly.
I had a great relationship with him, even though it cost both of us our jobs. So, right? He got bounced out of Washington too, right?
O'Connell. Oh yeah. He so
he was only there 1 year, right?
I think he was there for 2 years, and he was OC and calling plays when Jay Gruden got fired. They kept him for the rest of that year, and then he went to the Rams, and I think he got blown out just with the rest of that staff after Gruden was fired that season. Hey, question for you.
Yes.
What's your opinion of post victory, like Super Bowl wins, on the field proposals? I am so tired of players proposing. Like, proposals are great. That's fantastic. Nice restaurant, magic moment. Yeah. I get all that. But we had a Ram safety, in the midst of the confetti falling, brought the girlfriend out there and proposed.
Oh, well, I didn't know that because I turned it off as soon as it ended. But has that been happening with some regularity?
I think it's getting more popular.
Yeah, yes and no. It's definitely. I mean, I understand why people do it. It's a bunch of guys on their euphoria high of winning a Super Bowl, and they think they have to propose to their gal. I would never do that.
I just want her to know, and I don't know the guy you're even talking about it, but he gets on the road, honey. He don't care. He's an athlete.
He's only married in Los Angeles, California.
Just enjoy the fruits of the job, the occupation, and get ready to get your 50% when you end up divorcing the guy. Just get ready for that.
That goes back a long ways. All right, Roy. See,
that's right. Don't trust them. Okay. Don't trust them.
Your first words of advice are don't trust them.
Don't trust them. They're men. They're very macho men. They're playing the most macho game ever. They cannot be trusted. Okay. See ya.
All right. Bye.